A consumer is said to be a king in the free market economy. Earlier, the approach was different, but nowadays it has been changed. But with the increasing competition and in an attempt to increase their sales and market share, manufacturers and service providers are tempted to engage in many unfair trade practices, which is exploiting the consumers or the customers a lot. Business can't ignore the interest of consumers, that we know. So the area of consumer protection has emerged as a very important area of study, having significance for both the consumers and businesses. So this lecture video is dedicated to the consumer protection, that is the last chapter of business studies, chapter 12. Consumer might be exposed to risk due to unsafe products, might suffer from bad health due to adulterated food products, might be cheated because of misleading advertisement or sale of spurious products, might have to pay a higher price when sellers engage in overpricing, hoarding, or black marketing. Thus, there is a need for providing adequate protection to consumers against such practices of sellers. This is the importance of consumer protection or the consumer protection. We cannot ignore consumer, but we have to protect the consumer. Just to protect the consumer, Consumer Protection Act has been introduced in the Indian legal framework, which is consist of number of regulations which provide protection to consumer. This led to the Indian government to come out with the Consumer Protection Act 1986. This act seeks to protect and promote the interest of consumers. The act provides safeguards to consumers against defective goods, deficient services, unfair trade practices, and other forms of their exploitation. The Act provides for the setting up of a three-tier machinery consisting of district forums, state commissions, and the National Commission. It also provides for the formation of consumer protection councils in every district and state and at the apex level. The scope of the Act is very wide. It is applicable to all types of undertakings, big and small, whether in the private or public sector or in the cooperative sector, whether a manufacturer or a trader, and whether supplying goods or providing services. The Act confers certain rights to the consumers with the view of empowering them and to protect their interest. The Consumer Protection Act provides for 6 rights of consumers. The Consumer Protection Councils set up under the Act are intended to promote and protect the various rights of the consumers. These rights include the followings: right to safety, right to be informed, right to choose, right to be heard, right to seek redressal, and right to consumer education. The Consumer Protection Act, by conferring these rights on the consumer, empowers them to fight against any unscrupulous, exploitive, and unfair trade practices adopted by the sellers. Now, let's see what is right to safety. The consumer has a right to protected against the goods and services which are hazardous to life and health. Consumers should be educated that they should use proper mark electrical appliances which will ensure them or assure them product quality along with the safety. Next one is right to be informed. The consumer has a right to have complete information about the product he or she intends to buy, including its ingredients, date of manufacture, price, quality, direction for use, etc. Because the legal framework in India requires the manufacturers to provide such information on the package and the label of the product. The third right is right to choose. the consumer has the freedom to choose from a variety of products at competitive prices. This implies that marketers should offer a wide variety of products in terms of quality, brand, prices, size, and allow the consumer to make a choice from amongst these. They cannot impose any product or the services to the consumers. The fourth right is right to be heard. The consumer has a right to file a complaint and to be heard in case of dissatisfaction with the goods or services. For this, many companies they have set up their own consumer service and grievances cell. And many more consumer organizations are also working towards this direction and helping consumers in redressal of their grievances. Next right is right to seek redressal. The consumer has a right to get relief in case of product or service falls short of his expectations. The Consumers Protection Act provides a number of reliefs to the consumers that we will study later on. And the last right is right to consumer education. The consumer has a right to acquire knowledge and to be a well-informed consumer throughout the life. For this, we have seen government, especially government, they keep on putting so many advertisement on the television, or we can say that on both electronic and print media to educate the or to make the consumer aware about their various rights and responsibilities. Consumer rights by themselves cannot be effective in achieving the objectives of consumer protection. So, consumer protection in effect be only achieved when the consumers also understand their responsibilities. So, we can say that both the rights and responsibilities goes hand in hand. Let's see what are those responsibilities. A consumer should keep in mind the following responsibilities while purchasing, using and consuming goods and services. They must exercise their rights, whatever rights have been given in the Consumer Protection Act. Cautious consumer, they should not buy the things blindly. They should be aware what they are buying. They should file complaints for the redressal of the genuine grievances. They should not compromise on the quality. They should be beware of the false advertisement. They should not forget to take the receipt or the cash memo and the guarantee card on the purchase of the products. And various more responsibilities are given in the NCERT book that you can see in your book also. Now you can see the various certification marks provided by the government India to the various products. ISI, FPO. Now FPO has been changed or replaced with the FSSAI, then Hallmark, Egg Mark, Wool Mark. A cautious customer should always look for these certification mark before purchasing any of the product. Now, who is consumer? A consumer is generally understood as a person who uses or consumes goods or avails of any services. Under the Consumer Protection Act, a consumer is defined as any person who buys any goods or who hires or avails any services for a consideration which has been paid or promised or partly paid and partly promised or under any scheme of deferred payment. It includes any users of such goods or any beneficiary of services when such use is made with the approval of the buyer, but does not include a person who obtains a goods or who avails such services for resale or for any commercial purpose. After knowing the definition of consumers, now let's see who can file a complaint. A complaint before the appropriate consumer forum can be made by any consumer or any registered consumers association or the central government or any state government or one or more consumers on behalf of numerous consumers having the same interest, and in case of death of the consumer, his or her legal heir or the representative. For the redressal of consumer grievances, the Consumer Protection Act provides for setting up of a three-tier enforcement machinery at the district, state and the national levels, known as the District Forum, State Commission and National Commission. While the National Commission is set up by the central government, the State Commission and the District Forums are set up in each state and district respectively by the state concerned. Now coming to the District Forum. District Forum consists of a president and two other members, one of whom should be a woman. When the value of the goods or services in the question along with the compensation claimed does not exceed rupees 20 lakh, a complaint can be made to the appropriate District Forum. Next is State Commission. Each state commission consists of a president and not less than two other members, one of whom should be a woman. They are appointed by the state government concerned. A complaint can be made to the appropriate state commission when the value of the goods or services in question along with the compensation claimed exceeds rupees 20 lakhs but does not exceeds 1 crore. If a party is not satisfied with the order of the State Commission, he can appeal before the National Commission within 30 days of the passing of the order. In the same way, in case the aggrieved party is not satisfied with the order of the District Forum, he can appeal before the State Commission within 30 days of the passing of the order. And in National Commission, it consists of a president and at least 4 other members, one of whom should be a woman. They are appointed by the central government. A complaint can be made to the National Commission when the values of the goods or services in question along with the compensation claimed exceed rupees 1 crore. The appeals against the orders of a state commission can also be filed before the National Commission. An order passed by the National Commission in the matter of its original jurisdiction is appealable before the Supreme Court only. This means that only those appeals where the value of goods and services in question along with the compensation claimed exceed rupees 1 crore and where the aggrieved party was not satisfied with the order of the National Commission can be taken to the Supreme Court of India. Moreover, in a case decided by the District Forum, the appeal can be filed before the State Commission and thereafter order of the State Commission can be challenged before the National Commission and no further. If the consumer court is satisfied about the genuineness of the complaint, it can issue one or more of the following directions to the opposite party. These are the reliefs available to the consumers. They are to remove the defect in the goods or deficiency in the services, to replace the defective product with a new one free from any defect, to refund the price paid for the product or the charges paid for the services, to pay a reasonable amount of compensation for any loss or injury suffered by the consumer due to negligence of the opposite party, to discontinue the unfair trade practices and not to repeat it in the future, and not to offer hazardous goods or for sale and to withdraw the hazardous goods from sale, to pay punitive damage in appropriate circumstances, to cease manufacture of the hazardous good and to desist from offering hazardous services. Next one is to pay any amount not less than 5% of the value of the defective goods or deficient services provided to be credited to the Consumer Welfare Fund or any other organization to be utilized in the prescribed manner. Other directions are to issue corrective advertisement to neutralize the effect of misleading advertisement, and the last one, to pay adequate cost to the appropriate party. So these are 12 reliefs available to the consumers given to them by the Consumer Protection Act under the three-tier redressal system. With this, we have come to the end of the chapter 12, Consumer Protection. In this chapter, you have studied the consumer protection, the concept and its importance, the legal framework for the consumer protection in India, consumer rights, along with the various consumer responsibilities given to the consumers and the responsibilities that have to be carried out by a cautious consumer. Then the three-tier redressal agencies or the system under the Consumer Protection Act, along with who are consumers, who can file the complaint, and the various reliefs available to the consumer. We all know that this chapter is the last chapter of the syllabus of class 12 business studies. So with this, we have come to the end of the syllabus of class 12. Our effort in making various lecture videos from chapter 1 to 12 has been fruitful to you. You have understood the concepts, the topics, whatever have been discussed or detailed in the various lecture videos. So, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, study hard, and prepare best for your coming board examination of business studies. Thank you.